Hello everybody and welcome back to more Fallout New Vegas Old World Blues DLC. We are... Oh, Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. I really hope I can come back in here because I left all my guns in there. But I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure. Hi.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Oh shit. Phone, 1 second. Wait a minute. This speech option. I kinda wanna go with that. You think I'm the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius!
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you.
Aww.
Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Aww. Oh my god, no! I'm at Science 98? What? Because of my Med-X withdrawal. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Alright, well, you may have noticed that the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now?
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Ah! Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Good boys and girls take their Med-X.
So, now they're all gonna be crazy. Whoa. Can I get a normal... Whoa, what's happening here? Chassis.
Big little teddy bear.
Oh,
This one looks pretty tough.
not really. Sorry, guys. You guys need to die.
Let's gang up on it. Guys? Anyone?
Dr. O. I'm sorry,
Cessation of
guys.
hostilities complete.
Ooh. You guys have a lot of shit. I didn't want the fission battery. Oh, and a teddy bear. That's kind of sad. Dr. 8 had meeting people. Wow. Where's Dr. Klein? Oh. You kind of exploded, didn't you? And your brain. Well, that's rather sad. Now what? I know the objectives just flashed on the screen for me, but use this thing. But
as it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the most powerful minds of the 23rd century. The courier who had been brought to the Big Empty became its new overlord, using its facilities ruthlessly and decisively when needed. Sometimes, science is more than a quest for discovery. It is a weapon to be used in the service of one with the strength to understand it.
The Courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. It learned several new murderous techniques from the Courier, and built a blood shrine to itself in the Cuckoo's Nest. The cave floor was soon filled with the horror of 100 gutted toasters. A silent, grisly, unplugged audience. Their purpose? To toast bread. Unfulfilled.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the Courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the Courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the Courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The Courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the Courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The Courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
The Big Empty lived up to its name. A hollow crater of failures of a past era. A last, sad statement of the old world.
In the time following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, Old World Blues became more than a catchphrase.
It became a reality, a withering form of nostalgia for times long past.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the Courier at the helm, it was all this and more. Old world blues, new world misery. The two became one in the Courier's shadow.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the Courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the Courier had to walk alone.
The Lonesome Road. Okay. Big brained. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies still remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more at resistance to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold had improved by 10%. Wow. I kind of prefer that. Alright, you've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. Okay. It's capable of transporting you, and you alone, between the Mojave Wasteland and the Big Empty. Sorry, Big Mountain. I'm so used to calling it empty now. To return to the Mojave, or go back to Big Mountain from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder. As you would any weapon, pull the trigger and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and is totally incapable of harming your enemies. Alright, sweet. Huh. Wow. I really like the the epilogue of all the appliances. That was really nice. Especially Muggy. Oh, Muggy, Muggy, Muggy. Why do I have 15 points this time and I had 16 last time? No idea. I want to get this up to 75 because that's a good cutoff point. Alright, so that's good. I can... because I have a lot of stuff like stored in these places, so... Wow, you're excited. But, I don't think that I'm going to... Wait, what happens if I... Okay, I can't. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take back my heart and spine. Those are fine where they are. I don't need them back. It's kind of weird that the epilogue said that my organs were intact, like back where they were, because that's not what I chose at all. Alright. Anyways, I got interrupted there, sorry. I'm not sure that I really like this DLC very much, story-wise, but definitely environment and character-wise, this DLC was really great in those aspects, but story wasn't that great. It didn't... It wasn't much of anything, really. There wasn't much to it, you know? It was just that you ran around and did a lot of different weird-ass things, and that was it. The different appliances, the doctors, especially Dr. Mobius, and everything was really well done. I really liked that. I like the history of this place too, but the story itself, not that great. It was an okay DLC, I'll give it that, and being able to come back to the sink anytime you want is pretty damn cool, seeing as how there's a lot of things that you can do here. It's really nice. It's actually... I might move everything from Lucky 38 to here, because this is kind of a lot better. It's a lot more... I don't know, there's like...
Might I be safe in...
Yeah, there's like repair, there's healing, there's everything, so yeah, I might do that. Alright, well, this has been Old World Blues DLC with Sinovera. I hope you guys enjoyed, and join me for the next DLC.